Welcome to another episode by the Dog Mind Gears podcast. So picture this. You're standing outside, right?
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, you're freezing, it's raining, you have like a little plastic bag over your hand, and your dog...
Just taking their sweet time.
Exactly. Your dog is doing this endless, chaotic, just highly complex ritual of spinning and sniffing and stepping, and then, spinning again just to go to the bathroom.
Right, the classic pooping dance.
A pooping dance. It is universally recognizable and honestly incredibly frustrating when you're in a hurry. But what if I told you that in those 30 seconds, your dog isn't just like wasting your time?
They're really not.
No. What if I told you they are executing a 40,000-year-old survival protocol, engaging in a complex form of chemical warfare, and quite possibly calibrating their body to the Earth's magnetic poles?
It really changes the entire context of your morning walk, doesn't it?
It really does.
I mean, when you're out there just impatiently tapping your foot, you're actually witnessing this profound intersection of evolutionary biology, environmental sensing, and complex animal communication. It's playing out right there on your front lawn.
Yeah.
And for you listening, understanding these complex instinctual behaviors in simple terms is just so crucial.
Yeah, especially for new pet owners.
Exactly. If you're a new pet owner trying to decode what your furry friend actually needs, you have to understand this stuff.
And that is exactly our mission for you today. We are taking a deep dive into this incredibly comprehensive piece by Helen Thompson over at Dogazilla.
It's a great piece.
It is. We're going to explore why those quirky spins and sprints are not just goofy habits, but deeply ingrained evolutionary behaviors that communicate health, territory, and survival.
Right. So where do we start?
Okay, let's unpack this. To really understand the dance, we first have to travel back in time, like way back, 15,000 to 40,000 years ago.
Back to the domestic dog's ancestor.
Right, the gray wolf, Canis lupus. Because to understand why a modern golden retriever spins in circles in a, perfectly safe suburban backyard, we have to look at the wild.
What's fascinating here is that you really have to think about the absolute vulnerability of a wild animal answer nature's call.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're completely exposed.
Completely. In the wild, pooping is this highly vulnerable, defenseless moment. Their mobility is compromised, their posture is awkward, and their attention is inherently divided.
Because they can't just sprint away if something attacks them.
Right. If a predator, like a larger carnivore or a rival pack, chooses that exact moment to ambush, the wolf is at a massive disadvantage.
So nature had to give them a workaround.
Exactly. Nature hardwired a mandatory survival mechanism into their brain. And that mechanism is the circle.
The circle. But okay, I have to push back slightly here because when my dog circles, my yard is just flat grass. What physical purpose did circling serve for a wild wolf?
Well, you have to picture the ancestral environment, not your nicely mowed lawn. Imagine tall, unruly prairie grass, fallen branches, debris.
Oh, right. Not a golf course.
Right. So circling served multiple physical purposes. First, it flattens all that tall grass and debris to create a clear, safe zone.
Like a natural steamroller.
Exactly like a steamroller. But it also allowed the wolf to visually scan the horizon for nearby predators. Standing in a specific, cleared area actually enhanced their ability to detect subtle environmental changes.
Wait, really? How?
Because flattening the grass changes the acoustics. It gets rid of the rustling sound right around their body, allowing them to hear better and obviously smell better without interference.
Okay, that makes so much sense. It's like a human analogy would be when you're walking to your car alone at night.
Oh, yeah.
And you instinctively check the back seat before you get in. You might live in the safest neighborhood ever, and there's logically zero chance someone is in your car, but it's a deeply ingrained safety check. It feels weird not to do it.
That is a perfect analogy. Domesticated dogs still rely on these ancient survival instincts daily. Even if they live in a safe suburban home, their brains are practically screaming at them to do this threat assessment.
The HOA is not keeping the apex predators out as far as they know.
Right, they don't know that. The instinct to create a secure environment just hasn't faded. It proves how profoundly evolutionary history impacts modern canine behavior.
But the physical clearing is really only the first part, right? Because once the dog has physically secured the area through circling, they move on to the invisible layer of the ritual.
The chemical layer.
Yes, establishing territory. The source describes how dogs use scent and pheromones during this process. It turns out the pooping dance is actually an elaborate form of territory marking.
It is. The act of circling creates a localized sensory array. And a lot of people don't know this, but dogs release pheromones from their paw glands into the earth as they circle.
Wait, their paws, not just the actual poop.
Note their paws. They have these specialized glands, so as they scratch and turn, they are literally stamping a localized scent marker right into the dirt.
That is wild. And they sniff intensely too, so sniffing serves two purposes, right?
Yeah, checking for safety and seeing if the spot is already claimed by another dog.
Okay, so are dogs basically just reading their neighborhood's P-mail when they do this? Or are they actively trying to overwrite someone else's status update with their own paw glands while they dance?
Well, it's really about the why. Scent marking establishes social hierarchies. Leaving pheromones and feces provides critical information to the whole neighborhood network.
What kind of information?
I mean, everything. Feces itself contains odor signals that broadcast a dog's presence, their health status, and their place in the social hierarchy.
So they're leaving a highly detailed profile of themselves.
Exactly. And this combination of circling and marking helps modern dogs feel secure in their home territory. It allows them to claim a safe space.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. If this dance is a universal survival mechanism, why does every dog execute it so differently?
That's the fun part.
Right, because some dogs do a tiny little turn, and others look like they're preparing a helipad. The source compares why some dog breeds circle more vigorously than others.
And the answer lies in their specific genetics and life experiences.
Like herding breeds, border collies, Australian shepherds.
Right. Herding breeds display very vigorous routines. And it makes sense because they are driven by high energy and strong predatory instincts. Their brains are wired for massive environmental awareness.
So they just spin and spin because their motors run hot.
Exactly. Contrast that with smaller breeds like Chihuahuas or Pomeranians. They exhibit much more subdued pooping dances.
Which is likely related to their small size relative to their surroundings.
Yeah. To a Pomeranian, a patch of suburban lawn is already a huge forest. They don't need a huge perimeter.
But it's not just genetics. Individual personality plays a role too.
Huge role. Playful, confident dogs have very energetic routines. Reserved dogs are a lot quieter.
And life experience shapes the dance as well. The article mentioned dogs with stressful pasts or harsh training might show hesitation or anxiety.
Yeah, it's really sad, but true. While a well-socialized dog shows relaxed, spirited behaviors, an anxious dog might struggle to settle.
It's just amazing how a dog's past trauma or their historical job like herding sheep literally alters a basic bathroom instinct.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you can really look at your own dog's specific dance as a unique behavioral fingerprint. It's shaped by this wild mix of DNA and lived experience.
Okay, I want to move to the part of the research that honestly blew my mind. Beyond communication and breed differences, the physical execution of the dance points to invisible natural forces.
A magnetic mystery.
Yes, the magnetic mystery. The source explains how magnetic field alignment potentially influences these ancient circling rituals.
It sounds like science fiction, but it's very real.
I mean, how does a dog align its body with the Earth's magnetic field, and why?
Well, researchers found that a healthy dog often circles to align its body along the north-south magnetic axis. It provides them with a sense of comfort and security before squatting.
I was trying to think of an analogy for this, and it's like an old-school TV antenna.
Oh, I like that.
You know, where you have to rotate the rabbit ears back and forth to get the perfect signal. The dog is basically up there spinning, calibrating to the magnetic poles.
That's exactly what they're doing.
But what does it mean when the calibration goes wrong? Like when the dog just keeps spinning and can't find a spot?
And that is where this becomes a crucial health indicator. Because a healthy routine is rhythmic, consistent, just a few circles. But there are warning signs.
Like excessive circling?
Yes. Excessive circling, extending the duration before elimination, or whining and restlessness. These are major red flags.
What could those red flags mean?
They can indicate gastrointestinal distress, stomach pain, or it could be orthopedic discomfort, like arthritis or hip dysplasia.
Oh, so they literally can't find a position that doesn't hurt.
Right. It can also point to severe anxiety or underlying health conditions. Sudden changes in frequency or posturing are vital cues for owners to consult a veterinarian.
It's an everyday visual health report.
Exactly. It's a nonverbal cue that you need to pay attention to.
So what does this all mean for the listener? We've talked about wild wolf evolution, pheromones, magnetic fields, health indicators. How do we take all this and actually apply it?
Well, we transition to what you can actually do to support your canine companion during this vulnerable time.
And the source provides a lot of practical advice for pet owners on creating a comfortable environment. Especially for new pet owners, we have to explain these complex behaviors simply.
Right, it's not just a whimsical, annoying act. It is a biological necessity requiring patience.
Patience is the key word. I mean, we should never rush a dog on their walk. When we yank the leash, we are denying them their biological need for a safety check.
This raises an important question, really. How often does our human impatience actively interrupt a dog's vital safety ritual?
Probably every single morning when we're late for work.
Exactly. We have to start treating the walk as the dog's time, not just a chore. We need to offer specific ways to create a safe, stress-free space for elimination.
Like what? What can an owner specifically do?
If a dog is exhibiting restlessness or peculiar behavior, owners must take proactive measures to accommodate their needs rather than rushing them. Move to a quieter spot. Give them more slack on the leash.
Just let them finish their sensory check.
Exactly. By understanding these nonverbal cues, owners can improve training methods and alleviate potential stress. It deepens the bond between human and canine.
It's about respecting their nature. Okay, let's quickly recap this incredible journey we've been on today.
It's been a ride.
We started with wild wolves scanning for predators and flattening grass. Then we looked at modern dogs reading pheromones and writing their own chemical ledgers in the neighborhood.
Then we talked about how breed and personality shape their unique dance.
Right, the behavioral fingerprint. And then, of course, aligning with the Earth's magnetic poles like a biological compass, and how we can use all of this as a daily health update.
It's just amazing how much is happening in those 30 seconds.
It really is. But before we wrap up, we want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought to ponder on your next dog walk.
Oh, I've been thinking about this one.
Right. So, if dogs evolve to flatten tall grass, clear out debris, and really work to feel secure, are perfectly manicured, flat suburban lawns actually confusing to their ancient instincts?
It makes you wonder.
Does a pristine, totally flat backyard make the pooping dance harder for them because there's literally nothing to clear?
It's entirely possible their brains are searching for a messy environment that just isn't there anymore.
Something to think about while you're standing in the freezing rain tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We warmly encourage you to keep observing the fascinating behaviors of your furry friends.
See you next time.